Hello, it's Mr. Lewis here. I'm just going to run you through very quickly some top tips for your maths exam that is starting tomorrow, but this will hold true for all of them, so feel free to use this as much as you want for the rest of them. It's going to run through it really quickly. So tip number one, there's lots of questions on the paper. If you can't do it, don't panic. You've always got time, you can always come back to it later in the paper. You'll often find that you get stuck on a question and you just end up on it for more time than you think. So leave it, highlight it, whatever you need to do, come back to it at the end and something might just click that will get you into the question. You can get started and potentially get a couple of marks with that question. Tip number two, make sure that you answer all of the multiple choice questions. They give me marks. If you don't know, just have a guess. You never know. If you leave one blank, it's absolutely criminal. Put something down for it, okay? Number three is check if your answer is realistic. More often than not, some of the sort of contextualized questions, you'll find that they're quite applied and you can sort of sense if the answer is accurate. For example, I've just put up there, you know, if you've worked something out for a second-hand car and it costs £7 million, it's certainly not going to be something that is realistic in any terms. So just think common sense sometimes and just take a step back and just think if it's realistic that those answers sound right, okay? Number four, don't spend too long on one question, sort of, even whether you're stuck on it or not, or whether you're just weighing it up each way, just think about it, just move on. Always use this sort of guide as a bit of advice. It's roughly 1 minute per mark. So if you've got a 4-mark question, spend about 4 minutes on it. You've got the big clock up in front of you, so you can use that as a bit of a guide and use it. Don't spend too long on each question. You'll find, even if you can do it, you'll often find that if you're not sure which way to go, you'll spend far too long on it and you'll run out of time at the end. Tip 5. This is always on the paper. It'll be on one of the 3 papers and it is a gimme mark, all right? Look out for state the units of your answer. On the question, it'll be given into its context and then there'll be a little statement that says state the units of your answer. Regardless if you can do the question or not, just have a look at what units are in there. It's talking about surface area. Area is squared. Put in your answer line, centimetres squared, you've got a mark. Your answer could be totally wrong. You could even put no answer. As long as you've got centimetres squared in there, you've got a mark. So look out for that. It'll be marked clearly on your paper. Number 6, clearly indicate your final answer. Never ever put 2 answers. What happens is they will mark both answers that you put, and the answer that has got the worst marks, that is the one you will receive. So if you're thinking it's one or the other, pick one and go for it, because it doesn't matter, right? Just go for it, pick it, and make sure you clearly highlight the final answer that you're given. If there's any wrong workings or stuff you've done, cross it out and just make sure that you know where the answer is. Number 7, if you get stuck about it, think about the relevant maths. More often than not, just putting some obvious things back into the question, whether it be a proportionality question and writing out some general information, that will help you get into those questions. So think about it. It's really, really quite useful just to put something down that you know. Try to attempt all the questions. It's, you know, like I say, get into the question, try and get used to it. You'll find that writing something down will get you marks. Don't leave any question blank. Use all the time available, right? Keep a careful eye on the time. Make sure that you are working right up until the final minute of the exam. Whether it's going back and checking your workings, go back and checking your answers, whatever it may be, but use the time. It's there allocated to you. And 10, clearly show your workings out. Make sure that you try and apply your method as clearly and as consistent as possible. Remember, somebody is marking your paper, and if it's really messy and unorganised, it won't get marked, or it'll be awkward to mark. As clear as possible makes it really clear for the examiner to go through and mark it and allocate those results to you. And then don't forget, make sure you bring all your equipment. All right? Thank you very much.